Hi, everyone. It's Thursday, May 14th. One of the things I've been hearing throughout the community of the church, not just here locally, but in other parts of the country and throughout the world, is that faith leaders don't want the church or our world to simply go back to normal at the end of this pandemic. That instead of going back to normal, that we want to consider what God is up to in these days and how it is that we collectively are being transformed and being brought into a new future, a new way of life that may be different or perhaps even more whole than where we started at the beginning of this pandemic. Now, we know that we still likely have months ahead where things are going to be difficult and where we are going to encounter suffering within our families, within our community, and within the world. However, we need to start paying attention to what God is up to, and we need practices that will help us be able to do that in a way that reflect upon what we have already been through and reflect upon what God is drawing us into in the future. We're going to be talking about this a little bit on Sunday, May 24th at our congregational forum on Zoom that'll take place at 11:15 after worship. But next week, we're going to go through a process of 5 days of contemplative prayer, where we're going to be considering different aspects of how God has been active in our community, and specifically our Christ the King Lutheran Church community in these last 2 months of this pandemic. And we're going to use a specific prayer practice called the Ignatian Daily Examen. This is a practice that many people use at the end of their day to be in prayerful dialogue with God about what it is that they had been through in the previous hours and to discern where God was active during that time. There are 5 steps that will be outlined in the email that you received today. I'm not going to go through each of them in this video, but we will be using them next week. Each day, on Monday, we'll go through step 1, on Tuesday, step 2, and following. And instead of just reflecting on a day, we're going to reflect on the last 2 months of the pandemic using this exercise. But I invite you to go back to your email today, where there is much information about the Ignatian Daily Examen. And I invite you today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, before we get into next week, try praying this prayer for yourself. Listen for where God has been at during the day that you have just gone through, and practice discerning where it is that God is leading you into for the day to come. Is that this can be a very powerful prayer practice, something I've used at different phases throughout my life. And I pray that this may be a tool that can be meaningful for you in your prayer life in these days ahead. Please, again, return to your email. And if you have any questions for more information on the Ignatian Daily Examen, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more. God's peace be with you today.